Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator.
The beginning of everything.
Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Welcome to episode 235 of The Brink of Sanity. I am Jay. With me, as always, is Mark. And we have Rob Briscoe from the Uncanny X-Cast. How you doing, Rob?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good. You ready to talk lots of video games and comic books and everything else Mark hates?
I believe Mark's very excited about that, from what I remember.
It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to hear all about some video. Jay was explaining to me what a co-op video game was right before we started the show. It was enthralling.
I don't get your hatred. I can see not liking video games.
I don't like. Here's the thing. It's not if I don't like video games, because I grew up. I played video games. I played Contra. I played Super Mario. I just don't know where everyone took it to the next level. I don't know where you had to play a video game to solve a mission.
Why not?
You're solving a mission in Contra.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just shoot stuff and you get 99 lives. So it's like you're not really solving a mission. You're just like, I guess you are solving.
It's kind of the same now. It's not.
There's nothing. There's no thinking. It's like I shoot, I run. It's not not that things have to be mindless, but I hate okay, now find the key to this and solve this and answer this puzzle and you go on an adventure and you're gonna go hiking and you're like, why the fuck am I doing this in my fake life?
I mean, there's run and shoot games too.
But you guys don't play them. You play multiplayer, multidimensional, co-op, co-starring games with
A co-op game is still a run and Contra's a co-op game, actually. There you go.
Oh.
It's almost funner just to let him just keep going and dig a deeper hole that makes even less sense.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
If we don't stop him at some point, then the show's over.
It's just never gonna. Yeah.
I don't. What are you guys playing now? What game? What amazing game are you guys playing now?
That's the sad part. I've been almost exclusively playing FIFA soccer, so I'm living in that sad world, which is its own dark abyss.
Well, even that. So the sports games, I like Tecmo Bowl. I like Baseball Stars. I like when they were basic function RBI baseball. Now, I guess I don't know how soccer games actually work. Because it's football games. They're like, hey, the new Madden. Here, you have a playbook of 1,000 plays. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be that into the game.
I've tapped out. I can't do the football ones anymore. I totally agree with you there. But they're all. That's a fair point. They're all definitely. Do you play 2K, the basketball one, Jason?
I get one every 2 years, but I don't even touch the playbook.
Oh, they're so hard.
Yeah, I'm not looking through 200 plays.
It's like you're spending too much time learning something that matters nothing in life. And I know doing this podcast alone matters nothing in life. But it's even worse.
At least other people are enjoying it.
Yeah, we use that word enjoying in quotes, but whatever.
I get the impression that 13-year-olds everywhere are enjoying just destroying me in all these sports games.
That's true, too. I don't know. It's just such a waste of because it also requires, it's not like you're doing it an hour a week. People do these games for 8-10 hours a day, and they tell me about the soccer game. Does the computer operate 21 guys and you're operating one guy? Who are you operating?
No, I play in literally a more depressing mode than that. We play group games where me and a couple friends are all playing, and you have 5 guys on your team, and you are controlling one individual person, but the other 4 people are 4 other individual people on your team, and the computer's the rest, and it's against another group of people. So yeah, there is definitely an aspect. I've come to that crossroads at times during that game where I'm just kind of standing in my part of the field where nothing's happening and just waiting and going, this, I could probably be doing something more important than this. But I don't know what that is. What are you doing at night that's filling all these hours?
I have kids, so that really
I have kids too, but they go to bed at 8:30.
I guess I'm doing a podcast. I don't know. The soccer game, that doesn't sound actually that bad to me. It doesn't sound that bad to me if you guys are all playing and you know the people. And
that's what we do. And that does make it way more fun because most of the time you're just basically doing what you guys are doing here without a record button.
I get sports games to a certain extent. If it's not you're calling all these plays from Madden, if you're just playing a sport, I mean, it's obviously be better to playing the actual sport. But the video game thing I do get, especially if you're playing with your friends. I do think it's kind of cool, even a basketball game where you guys are playing each guy in the team.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. It's the James Bondian game where it's not like the aspect of James Bond we had to go solve a mission. That's the kind of stuff I find weird. I kind of find like, why? So I get the views. Jay, what do you play?
Well, I just finished the first Gears of War, which is like a run and shoot game, so you'd probably like that. But then there's an online mode, and that's the part that, well, I don't even like it. You just basically you log on, you enter this room, and then you instantly get shot in the face.
That actually I like. That sounds kind of funny.
Now, have you done the horde mode on, or do they not have that in the first one?
They didn't
Can't
have it in
remember.
the first one, but I got all the rest of them now, so I guess
Horde mode, again, if you play with a group of people, that's where they set you in one area and you have to like basically, it's almost like that lame movie scene where everybody's backs are kind of to each other shooting at everything.
Yeah.
And you have to like hide behind stuff and secure yourselves and fight off waves of people coming in. That one's fun
Okay.
because you're helping each other out and stuff.
You know what it is? You mentioned like, what do you do with your time? You're right. I don't do anything valuable with my time. Once the kids are asleep, when I have a little bit of time to myself, I do nothing valuable. I'm catching up on Shark Tank or some other show I'm watching. I'm
Yeah.
watching Shark Tank being like, oh, I should be an entrepreneur. I'll make millions of dollars. I'll go on Shark Tank with my not idea and make millions.
See, I don't have cable too. So once the kids are in bed, we'll watch like one show on Hulu and then I'm not like able to just flip around and pick something. So that's where the games come in handy for me.
That's a fair point. I mean, I only have cable because, but how do you watch sports with cable? Like, are you like, do you watch sports?
We have our mother-in-law's Watch ESPN login.
Okay. I'd be missing like a big Mets and Knicks fans and Jets also, but Jets aren't regular.
Yeah, see, I'm mainly like Alabama football and the Cubs, and I pay for the MLB TV app.
They screw you with the MLB app. Like if you're in your home, like I live in New York and I'm a Mets
Yeah.
fan, they cut it, they cancel it out because they know if they didn't, people wouldn't
They'd
have
all
cable.
drop cable. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's the one benefit of having no baseball team within like 200 miles of me.
Like my wife hasn't figured out we're paying $120 a month so I can watch the Mets, which sounds kind of ridiculous when I think about it out loud. What's going on with you, Rob? What's new?
I don't, as a fellow dad, like virtually nothing.
How old are your kids?
We've got a 8-year-old and a turning 6-year-old this week.
You're like double me. I have a
Oh, you got little ones?
4 and 2.
Oh gosh, yeah, your life is worse than mine.
Yeah.
No offense, but I'm not taking that
fine.
back.
It's fine. My daughter is 2 today, and I'm shocked I've survived 2 years with 2 kids.
Yeah, that's a hard age. That's a very tiring, hard age. They get a lot easier than that.
My son was just like my son, who's 4, was just calling out, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, mommy!" Like he needed her to come in the room. She came in the room. He's just shouting it anyway. We're like, and I'm in there also like, "Mommy's right here." He's like, "Mommy, mommy." You're like, she's standing here, and this went on for 10 minutes.
So he's
Sounds
just
right.
trolling you for no reason.
It is the craziest things happen at this age. They're just insane people. They're absolutely mentally ill, insane people, and you have to just like kind of like play along, like it's like normal.
Yeah, their brains just don't fully function in a way that humans eventually grow into.
Yeah,
But you know what? Enjoy that while you can, because once they start like making those connections in their brain and making them work again, then they have the ability to like be mean and more manipulative and just like, yeah, it gets easier, but it gets worse.
Having a kid sounds awesome.
Sounds wonderful. I mean, it is also, like it's the weird thing of like they drive you insane. But then I think about the fact, and we'll stop talking about kids in a second. But when I think about the fact that like when they're older and they want to hang out with me,
Yeah.
my heart, like
Yeah, oh no, yeah, you're gonna. I mean, I'm way prior to that point still, but like you definitely around my oldest age, you start seeing like glimpses of that.
and
Where
you're like,
you're like-
I got you here. It's been 8 goddamn years of me raising you. They're like, yeah, screw you. I want to hang out with my friends now.
Yeah. And you're like, wait, you're the same person that like literally wouldn't stop bugging me 24 hours a day to do whatever the thing you are doing is.
Yeah.
But I think the good thing is if you do a good job on the front half of that, there's a point like post being able to drink beer where they'll come back around. And that's how you'll know you've like succeeded on some minor level. This
Yeah,
is deep
that-
stuff.
That makes sense. That makes sense. You kind of want that all to There's gonna be a period where they don't like you, but then a period where they'll like you again, I guess.
I went. I'll tell you like a really short story. I went to a father-daughter dance last week, and while I'm there, I was talking to one of my wife's. It was a guy that she went to high school with, who I always have like viewed as like a real goody-goody kind of guy, and we don't really talk that much. I'm sitting there talking to him, and he's like waxing poetic about how important these moments are, and how just enjoy every second of it when they're little. And he hard shifts. I've never seen this guy say anything to me in my life. He hard shifts from that point. He's like, because I have a 16-year-old girl, and she fucking hates my guts. And I was just like, because I'm just thinking like this guy is like super nice, and he's got to that point. So like, what's sarcastic ass me gonna be dealing with it? I just can't even. That's depressing.
Oh my god. I've already seen like there's also that I heard you get to the age where like they will rip on you, like they. Just,
I'm at that point. Yeah.
And I had a moment. So I have this little game I play with little kids. Like I do with my kids. I do with other little kids where like they give you a high five and you like pretend they really hurt you. Not a genius game or anything. Not like I thought of myself.
Yep.
But I was doing it, and like my little nephews, nieces all love it. They think it's hilarious. And we were at someone's place. I did it. I go, ow, ow. My son goes, oh, Daddy always does that. That's his joke.
Oh, and
I
then
was like,
you've got nothing.
Why you blowing my spot?
It's like it was funny last week, you little shit.
You like what I do to you. Oh.
Well, the problem is there's a cute window where it's like, look at him, he's sarcastic, just like me. And then like 2 years later, you're like, motherfucker, how did I let it get to this point? Like it's not good.
Yeah, I can see that. So Jay, we'll stop torturing you. Have you knocked up your girl yet, Jay?
No.
Is that a thing you're trying to do right now?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not. I don't
Would
know.
it be weird if Jay just admitted on the show? He was like, yeah, I haven't told anyone.
Oh God, yes, I have, and I'm so screwed. I don't know what to do.
The worst part, it's not the girl I'm dating.
Yeah, so I guess in Single Land, I got to go skiing.
Oh, nice.
I have never been skiing in my life, so it was an absolute nightmare, as you could expect.
Well, the problem with skiing, I found when I first started, is it's not fun until you know how to stop. And it took me a couple times before I knew how to stop.
Yes, turning helps too, I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like all the things that involve actually skiing besides going down the slope as fast as humanly possible.
Well,
what do they teach now? The cheese wedge?
Yeah, pizza, French fries.
Pizza? Yeah, sure. Pizza, French fries.
That's how I learned. They call it pizza French fries also.
I haven't heard that. That's great.
But when you first get
cheese
there,
wedge, yeah.
they give you a document that you have to sign. And I counted, and the word death was in there 6 times.
Yeah. Makes sense.
In all caps. It was always preceded by severe injury, so I'm already getting a little nervous.
It's like you're like this one clause where it says something about you jokingly causing my death. I'm not cool with that.
Well, they told it came with like a group package, and they told you how to stop if you're sliding down the hill.
Yeah.
So I started sliding down the hill, and
What did they tell you? They tell you the pizza French fry way to stop down going down the hill?
French fries is like the ski straight ahead. Pizza is like you make it into a triangle, so it stops.
But why do they teach you that way when if you have any speed whatsoever, it won't stop you?
Right.
Well, not only that, I
Usually
started
face plant,
sliding
that's-
down, and I did the pizza thing, and then I started sliding sideways, and there's no way to stop that. So I took out like half my my practice group.
They
And
must have loved that.
Yeah, no, they really did.
Did you get better throughout the day? Like, did you at the end of the day were you actually able to stop?
Well, I got a little better. They have this thing that's like a moving sidewalk that takes you up the bunny slope.
Wow, you must have felt like a real man.
I actually fell getting off of that.
Were there 5-year-olds laughing at you?
There's 5-year-olds like, they're skiing in and out of people, and
They're
like,
snowboarding past you.
yeah, they're like, doing ollies or whatever you do on the snowboards. And so, you go down the bunny hill, it's like, 20 seconds? And you got to wait online for 15 minutes to go up that sidewalk thing again. And I'm like,
when you went down the bunny hill, did you just go straight down the bunny hill, or did you kind of like did you go side to side a little bit, like
I didn't know how to.
practicing?
No, they said like tilt one of your skis sideways to turn. I tilt one ski sideways. I'm still going straight. So I went straight down. But
So
then
yeah, that's why you get down the bunny hill in like 12 seconds, almost kill 12 people going down there, and you're like, okay, I got to wait in line for 40 minutes now.
yeah, exactly. And then they have people with like 3-year-olds on skis, and they're just walking like across the hill while I'm going down, and I'm like,
Oh, people stop to have like dinner parties.
yeah, there was
on
people
the,
sitting in the middle of the hill, and I'm like, I don't know how to stop or turn. And
You're the one who's gonna die
Yeah,
now.
the only hill where people don't know what the hell they're doing. People are just sitting in the they're like orange cones on there. You have to like go around.
Exactly.
Do they not on the bunny hills have like what would essentially be like a lifeguard? Like people saying like you got to move.
No,
Every time I've gone, every time I've seen a bunny hill, it's always like people are just hanging out at different points of it, just doing whatever they want.
Yeah, like having conversation. I kind
there's
of
a
remember
free
that.
People are
Yeah.
holding business meetings on the like with PowerPoint slide, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
I'm amazed you made it this long living up there without ever having gone.
Every year I say I want to go, and I never did. And then a coworker was going, and he got a group together. It was like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go this year.
It's
So
actually,
did you? Oh, go.
sorry. It's actually like I started when I was in college, and I thought it was pretty late at that point. But it actually like once you actually get the hang of it, it actually gets pretty fun.
Oh, it's great. We went as kids all the time. We had like a school bus that like took us after school on Tuesdays, and so I'm not like good, but I was competent enough.
Yeah.
But that's like once you get over the hump of it, it's so cool. Like you're missing. Did you ever get off the bunny hill?
Yeah, after it took all afternoon, I went down the bunny hill like 3 times. I
Okay.
was like, screw it, we're going to go on the ski lift. And the ski lift is another panic attack waiting to happen.
Yeah, that's the hardest
Yeah,
thing to learn.
the ski lift, especially like when you're like just hanging there and it kind of stops and goes, and you're like, I'm gonna die in the ski lift.
Well, first the thing like rams you from behind, and you kind of
Yeah.
like fall into it. And
It's
then
so unnatural to sit in.
me and the group we were
and
with,
you're like that was like light anal rape, and I enjoyed it.
me and the group I was with were like, we're at the highest point, and we're freaking out. There's just open air in front of us,
Yeah,
and the thing is stopping and starting.
I
We're
still kind of hate I still kind of hate the ski lift.
like,
Oh, I
we're like,
that's the best part.
You really
It
think-
is. I mean, it's freaky, but
the
it's
last
good.
time I went there was like a huge storm, and so the thing was like rocking like crazy.
Oh, that's not. I've never.
Yeah,
had
I guess
that.
that was in particular. It was a long ride, and you're just rocking. And the last run of the day, the ski lift must have taken literally an hour to get to the top. It was like they realized 5 seconds after we got on it that it was like, this is gonna be the last run. We have to stop putting people on there, but we have to let these people go to the top or some god. And like so every time someone got off, they had to stop the ski lift for like 5 minutes to make sure that people were like able to get off. And it took forever to get up there. We got to the top of the hill. Huge blizzard basically in our face, and we're like, okay, as fast as possible down the mountain, let's go. Like we want to survive. Jay, go on.
well, for us, we were thinking like, how do they even let people on this thing? It's just open air. You could literally just like sit forward and fall off the thing.
You knew there was a thing that you had to put down, right?
Not until we were
Oh
the
my God.
second to last people off, and we see the people in front of us lift the bar up, and we're like, oh, they should tell you these things. How are you supposed to know that?
Well, the thing is, when I was going, there were still a lot of places that did not have that bar on those chairs all the time, and that was like one of my first experiences where I had that, like everyone's had this at some point, where you're walking around doing something and you just look around and you're like, society is just like so close to just being anarchy just by like one person making a fucking decision to just go nuts here, where like you're getting on that thing with strangers. They could just, even with the bar, they could lift that bar off and throw you off in like less than a second.
And they're like, he fell. He
Sure,
didn't fall. You
yeah.
pushed him.
I can't believe he killed himself. Yeah, like it's horrifying.
There's also no regulations. Like I could have told them I'm going to go on the Black Diamond, and they would have taken me up there. Like,
Oh, of course. Yeah, you just go where you want.
How is that
That's
a
why
thing?
they make you sign that paper.
So is it weird that like you have to like at some like you have to present an ID to go see an R-rated movie to hear cursing, but if you want to murder yourself on a mountain, that's cool.
yeah, absolutely, totally fine. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing, and they let me at least on the ski lift thing, and then so there was 4 of us, and as we were getting off the ski lift, we all just get tangled in each other's skis, and all of us just tumble out of the ski lift.
That the dismount off the ski lift is literally the hardest thing. It's such a pain in the ass.
It took me a little while to get that, and like it's one of those things that where you're like, before you do it, like if you're going with experienced skiers, sitting on the chairs with you, and you're getting off, you just feel like an asshole because you're like, I'm going to trip you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, this is gonna happen.
I did it correct once, and then I got all cocky, and I'm like, all right, let's go up again. And the next time was like a comedy routine. I fell off, a ski flew off. I went to grab the ski, and the ski I had on started sliding down the hill. So then I fell over again, and then I got up to pick up the ski, and the other ski started going down the hill again. I just kept tumbling and standing up and tumbling. Eventually, I just crawled over to the side and like put my skis back on. It was bad.
I've been there.
What are you doing for like? Because we've thought about going on a trip and taking the kids, but living down here, like I no longer have a ski jacket or snow pants or like any like. What are you wearing at this thing when you're learning? Are you in full like snow pants gear?
No, I bought like a $20 pair of pants at a like a cheap like thrift type store that I didn't even know if they're waterproof. If they made that swishy noise when you rub the legs together, I'm like, all right, that's close enough.
Okay.
And then I had a jacket that I knew was waterproof.
Just a heavy. Okay.
And that was it. Like it was like almost 50 degrees. So I didn't even use my gloves.
Wow.
They tell you if you use a helmet, like you're not supposed to wear a hat. So I didn't have to worry about that. So really, it wasn't much.
Wasn't too bad.
Yeah. You're also skiing when it's like 50 degrees is pretty sweet.
Yeah, except that I wore thermals, so I was sweating for about 9 straight hours.
But the good thing about that is also like by the time you go to lunch, you lost 20 pounds. You're like, I want to eat a lot right now.
Yeah. Those boots are no good.
The boots I hate wearing those boots.
I had a ring of blisters like around where it rubs into your calves, all your what's the front part? Your shins. Yeah, where it rubs into your shins all day. I had like a ring of blisters there.
When you take them off at the end of the day, you feel like it's like you like kind of escaped prison.
Yeah, like your foot expands somehow.
Your foot's like, thank you for getting me out of this Chinese prison.
Yeah.
The best thing with those boots is the asshole walk. Like when you go in to get food and you're walking in those boots and you just can't not look like an idiot.
Well, the worst part though is when you have to walk downstairs.
Oh, forget it.
Walking downstairs
Sideways.
It's the hardest thing to do. It's like I almost like you contemplate like just kind of like rolling down the stairs and how many people you break because you can't fucking take this anymore.
Yeah, I did like a half stumble down the stairs because nobody told me to go down sideways. And then so I made it pretty much through the whole trip unscathed. And then the next morning I'm washing dishes and my back just goes out, and I've been like out of commission since. So that's been fun. Cool. So that was skiing.
Totally with no transition. I came across this random story. I thought it'd be funny to share.
Sure.
So there's this big law firm in New York City. Name of the firm is Milbank Tweed. Not that it matters. So they donated $1 million to Harvard Law. And the $1 million was to be used for student activities, so forth. So thereafter, there was a pro-Palestinian demonstration, pro-Palestinian rally, and they said the rally sponsored by Milbank. And Milbank, the law firm, said, are you fucking kidding me? We gave you money. You're not supposed to put it on things that are going to get us in trouble. And they said, no, you got to let us use it for what we want, and we're using it for that. This is part of a student activity. And they said, we don't give a fuck if you fine if you want to use it that way. Don't put our fucking name on it like we're sponsoring this shit.
Today's riot sponsored by Bank of America.
And they're like, well, this law firm's trying to censor speech. They're like, not censor speech. We didn't fucking sign up for this. We gave you $1 million, and you're fucking like kicking us in the goddamn ass.
That is funny.
It seems like if they were using the logo, they could really get in trouble for that.
I mean, it's almost like they're like, thank you for the $1 million. Okay, we're going to also now have law student gangbang film watching class by Milbank. What the fuck?
That's really funny. That would be really funny if there was a school that just the entire semester they just screwed with like corporate companies. Like it's time for our dead baby ritual, sponsored by Chase Bank.
Elect Donald Trump, sponsored by Milbank. And you're like, what? We're not in favor of the. You gave us money. We're going to put your name on everything.
Satan loves McDonald's.
pro-rape rally? Who the fuck? Well, one student suggested it, so we put Milbank's name on it.
I'm loving it. Burger King.
Free Jared. Legalize child raping. And to get the $5 footlongs back. Sponsored by Milbank.
Where's he at? Is he in jail yet?
Yeah, one of our super fans sent us one of it. I mean, the only sent us an article. He's in jail, and apparently he's getting his ass kicked in jail.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Apparently
he slapped around a little bit. They gave him let me find the story here.
He's already gained 30 pounds.
Yeah, he already gained 30 pounds, which is hilarious.
That would be the best post jail marketing for Subway to bring him back. Be like, I told you.
He stopped eating Subway.
No more Subway. Guy gets fat again.
They call him Como for child molester, or Chomo, I guess. Which it's nice that they have to they even have a short nickname for child molester.
Shouldn't it be Chimo?
It says Chomo here.
I know, but I guess the criminals aren't good at spelling.
Chomo sounds better.
Yeah.
What do they call you Chomo for? What's that stand for? Oh, nothing. No, but Jared, what's it stand for? Oh, no. I think they just came up with it. Yeah, apparently he's not living a good life in jail. I kind of feel like he's been in jail, they say, for about a year or so. Or actually, less than half a year.
It's only been 6 months, right?
Should he be dead already? No offense to him or anything like that, but shouldn't isn't that a child molester? That's Jared. Doesn't the second day of jail, someone's like, okay, let's stick a shiv in him.
No, I think they want to mentally torture him for a few months first.
Don't they usually keep Chomos away from everybody to some degree because they know that's the case?
But aren't you supposed to go, yeah, that's the case, so let's put him in the general public and let justice happen?
Yeah, that's the other version of that for sure.
Chomo, sponsored by Milbank. Yeah, that's what's going on with Jared.
Do your coworkers spit in urinals?
Sorry, what?
Almost,
I don't. Here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing about my workplace. None of us stare at what each other do in the urinals.
It's pretty hard to
Yeah, I
ignore.
was gonna say I don't know that I've noticed that.
Do your coworkers not really shave their pubes properly?
Well, between school and work, there's a lot of public urinals, and I always see people spitting into it, and I don't know what that's about.
That's for goddamn urine. I mean, don't spit on it and make a mockery of the place.
It seems like it's a thing.
You're gonna drink from there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be one of these urine spit defenders or anything, but I don't know what is that a big faux pas?
It's you're getting on your high horse. It's a urinal. It's for my dick, not for your mouth.
Yeah,
It's just that I've seen a dozen people do it, so I was just wondering if this is a new thing. Or
What if we both were yeah, that's where I spit. Sometimes I go to the bathroom and I don't have to pee. I just need to spit.
I just don't get what compels you to do that. Okay, we can move on. I thought it was.
No, I'm actually interested in the psychology of how you got to this point.
Jay, if you want to interview me, I'm Joe the Spitter. Yep, when I go to the urinals, I spit. To ask me your questions, Jay.
Why are you spitting into the urinal?
Why are you minding your goddamn fucking business?
Why are you staring at me at the urinal?
Stop staring at my goddamn dick, asshole.
If somebody's hocking a loogie right next to you, you're gonna notice.
Well,
Yeah.
they're hocking
Next
one
time
up.
I'm gonna hock a look at your dick.
Okay, this went nowhere.
I feel like anybody, if they're hocking a loogie full on grunty noise, once there's any kind of noise over a commonplace decibel, I'm fucking out of that bathroom anyway. I don't like when
What
things
else do they
get
do
too
in the urinal?
rowdy.
Drive Jay crazy. Jay's pissing in the urinal and the guy next to him's pouring out his coffee.
All right. Oh, okay. Here's a question. This is a dark topic, but it involves this. We had a guy at my work, and I don't have a big workplace. We had a guy die on one of the toilets at work, and it's a small enough place that there's only 2 toilets.
Is the question whether you had to move him out of the way to pee and leave him there, or
No, that's just so fucking disturbing.
Who found him?
That's a whole nother scene.
that's an unhealthy lottery.
Yeah, it took a while.
I know where you're going with this.
But I know. So how long?
Hang on, Jay. Where do you think he's going with this?
Oh, well, I might have given it away.
Well, I think he's going with I don't want to use the corpse toilet anymore.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
Can you put like toilet paper down between you and the corpse?
Jesus.
It's just still there. Every day, someone's like, I'm not moving him.
I didn't see that coming.
Well, listen. His legs were kind of spread. I sat on his lap with toilet paper and took a shit.
This is a big enough space. I just pee in the spot where
He had a wide stance and died with the wide stance.
Now I feel terrible for bringing this up.
How old was this dead guy?
He like sub 50.
That's scary.
Did
Because
you,
that's like coming up on our age.
I know.
Oh God, everything.
Brain aneurysm.
That is not a way you want to go either.
No.
Especially
I
at
now
work.
I've been in the same building with two different people who have died in a toilet.
Holy shit.
The other one
Fuck's
is
wrong with your toilet?
this is a more tragic story.
Is it more tragic than dying on the toilet?
No, this is also a death on a toilet, but
the
the
toilet
circumstance.
killed his kids too.
So when I was like, gosh, I was probably 8 years old. You know how like when you're a kid, you get dragged to family parties where like you're not even entirely sure where you are or who like these other kids around you are, like one of those situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Well,
like
we get taken to one of those, and they shoo us all downstairs into the basement at this certain point. It was this lady's 80th birthday party. So, of course, assholes that we are, we all kind of sneak back up and peek at what's going on. And what is going on is they've hired a male stripper for this lady, like a Chippendale stripper, like not like dick swinging, but as close as you're gonna get to it.
Most of the parties my parents invited me to had dick swinging. This was an unusual one.
So they're all laughing, whatever is going on. Eventually, it ends, and we come back upstairs. And
If the 80-year-old died after the Chippendales dancer, that would be amazing.
that is exactly what happened.
Holy shit! Really?
She died on the toilet. Like she had gone to the bathroom, and then she was just gone for a long time. And like, where is she? And then it was kind of a commotion, and then there was a real commotion because she was just done on the toilet. So like, imagine the poor relative who incepted the idea of like, yes, we should get a stripper for this lady. I mean, that's definitely what killed her. Like her heart probably got pumping, and then boom.
Do you think the Chippendales place was like, we may want to change our slogan from "Drop Dead Hot Men," or just say it's accurate.
So I was also thinking about the actual dancer. Like afterwards, he's like, "So, are you gonna pay in cash or?"
Well, he was gone, so he had already left. So it was a
Okay.
couple minutes had passed since that point. So he probably never knew.
Do you think he like when he finds out he's like sad or he's like, yeah, still got
Right.
it?
Put this on my business card. I don't. Do you think he would ever find out? Like, who would? You wouldn't call them back and be like, "He did a great job. He killed my grandma," but otherwise, 4 out of 5 stars. It was
Is
great.
Jim there?
That's the
He
Yelp.
had a medium-sized package, some hair on his chest. Can if you can just tell him to call us back, something about old lady not being alive anymore.
That's the Yelp review. He danced really well, but he killed my grandma.
Do you know can you find out the name of the Chippendales place and write a Yelp review? 32 years ago.
Right? Yeah. I remember when I was a kid.
It's almost like you set up your own like fake name. Like you're like, this is what the company's website would be, and like this is that. Like you set up your own Yelp page for them so you can write the bad review. Wow. So guy dies in the toilet. You guys leave him in the toilet for a couple weeks.
No, they found him the same day, but like
Okay.
much later. And there was, yes, I shouldn't even go into some of these details, but like,
No, please.
there are multiple people who went to that bathroom during that period that thought he was just having trouble getting one out. Like there were noises, but nothing like
methane leaking out of his body.
no, not like that. Just like almost like grunty noises. But he had a brain aneurysm.
Oh.
Right. So he was like, I don't know exactly what you call that state, but it was like a lot of like kind of like heavy breathing, that kind of thing. So
So
he
in
couldn't have
other
been
words,
safe.
like Bill from accounting went back in there making fun of him, like, you know what, Bob's making all these noises in there, ha ha. And later on, Bill from accounting's like, I'm a horrible person. I could have saved his life by calling the paramedics.
there's definitely multiple people that went in, thought exactly that, and now feel terrible about it. But to the point where the people that found out the information had to tell other people, like, look, we understand some people heard him in there. There's nothing you could have done. Like, once that had happened, he was kind of done for anyway. But still, it's an odd thing to think that you were in there just like spitting in the toilet.
So
Thinking,
here's the question.
you know,
two
toilets.
yes, are there. You have to go to the bathroom. Out of one comes a homeless man. Out of the other, a dead guy just falls over. Which one do you go to?
I'd probably just hold it, right?
No, well, this is my scenario. You
Like,
can't hold it.
All right, I gotta go.
Or you shit in your pants, basically.
Wait, the dead guy just like walks out and dies?
No, he falls over. He's like he drops dead. You can see
He's
him
right there.
It's a pretty big stall. He just
It's
falls.
the
Oh no,
handicap.
I'm going where the homeless guy. I'm just gonna like multi-layer TP where the homeless guy was.
I don't know. I think the dead guy, maybe he's clean. You don't know, like the homeless.
Yeah,
guy.
but I don't want to. But then I'm like draping my legs over him. I'm not gonna move him.
You put your foot on top of him.
No.
You ever hear about the potty stool?
Squatty
So
potty.
Yes. Yeah.
Squatty potty. It's supposed to help you poop better. So if you put your feet up on the homeless man, I mean not the dead guy, you probably just shit better.
Yeah, but I don't want to touch a dead guy. That's
Rob's like, I
No.
didn't sign up for this when I agreed to do your show.
no.
Listen, sharks. It's you don't need to like bury the dead anymore. You put them in your bathroom and put your feet on top of them. Squatty dead guy.
It's recycled.
Mark, you can invest.
It's the Squirpsy Corpsey.
Oh God.
It's like grandma never left your bathroom.
Literally. I mean, I can see how they mistook that though, because there's some loud shitters at my job. Like there's all sorts of noises.
But let's ask the question. So how long until after? So this guy dies. The paramedics remove him. How long until afterward did someone use that stall?
That's where I was going with this in the first place. There was a long debate at work about like, when can you use that toilet again, or do you ever want to?
And this is all because everyone thinks that dead guys give cooties, right? Not like the honor.
I don't think it's that as much as just like, I don't know.
When
Like,
you
you ever
honor
like
the guy, like that's his memorial. You can't shit there.
you ever drive over like a dead animal on the road and get that little shiver?
I don't really drive
Yeah.
with dead animals.
Not like running it over, like it's just in the road and you drive over and you go
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
like you get that little like. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know what you mean.
I just like. I don't know. You feel like
basically like they're like there's cooties.
no, I'm not like worried about me in that situation as much as just like, not that it's sacrilegious because I'm not worried about that, but just
The
I don't know,
ghost of my ass.
it's just weird. You want to be the first guy there?
I don't think I'd want to be the first guy there.
Would toilet paper like in between be okay?
See, but it's not like a cooties thing. It's more of just like a vibe thing. Like, oh yeah, this is that spot where that dude sat for 5 hours dying.
Yeah, you need somebody else to break the ice.
I figured I gave it like a good 2 months and figured cleaning staffs take, there's a lot going on in here. It's almost like working its way back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like once the cleaning staff goes through it, it should be fine.
Just one time.
Just
Yeah.
one time.
I mean, people die everywhere. It's not like, I'm sure someone who lived in this house that I'm living in now has died in this house at some point. I don't know it.
Yeah, and there's plenty of park benches. You were probably like sitting there, like watching your kids play in the playground. People died there.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a real dark episode.
Cooperative gaming, guys. What's up in that world?
Have you ever noticed that? You know what? Here's the word I hate, or the phrase I hate. Excuse me. I feel like people can't say the word "excuse me" without sounding like a total asshole.
It depends how you say it. There's definitely people on the subway where they're just like, "Excuse me," and you're just like, "Shut up, cunt."
No, I feel like it's not even like there's not a way you can use it that doesn't sound like an asshole. It's like anytime like if you don't hear someone and someone says to you, "Excuse me," it's always like, "You want to fucking fight?" I just said I need to get over this way. Why? Excuse me. I just said I wanted the salt. They're gonna fucking kill. Oh, you want the salt? Okay.
No, I think you have anger issues.
I probably do, but you don't.
Like, what about like an old lady at Burger King trying to like get someone's attention. She could pull it off.
Excuse me, I'm dying in the stall.
She's got to be a little frail. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would work. I just find every time I've heard the word "excuse me" or the phrase "excuse me" in the last like year, I feel like everyone that said it had like a giant attitude. Even if they didn't mean to have a giant attitude, it just sounded like they did.
Well, that's because everyone who said it was in Manhattan, and everyone's a dick around here.
I spend a lot of time in Manhattan. That's true too. But even when I'm gonna say "excuse me," sometimes I feel like I'm being an asshole. Like I have to get around someone like "excuse me," and they're always like, "jackass," and I'm like, "No, I really just need to. I'm late for work." Oh.
No. There's a way to say it, and then there's where you like kind of yell say it, and that's when you're being a dick.
Yeah. You almost have to make facial. You have to like almost see the person's face at the time where you say it, so that you can give them like a little like, "Ooh, excuse me," like.
Yeah.
I almost want to switch it to "pardon me," but then I feel like I should be like having British tea and crumpets.
Yeah. Then you're like Doctor Who all of a sudden. That's not as good.
Yeah, it doesn't work either. So it's a little problem I have with the phrase "excuse me."
It does sound entitled. I can see that, especially where you guys are, where you're crowded together with other people.
Yeah, it's probably getting around people for "excuse me" is bad. I think "excuse me" is the worst. When people say it in referring to like I didn't hear what you said. Like when people instead of saying "what" or "could you repeat that?" When people say "excuse me," I always feel like that's the worst of it.
Yeah, I don't see how "what" came out of favor.
Yeah,
it seemed like that was working.
Because it always sounds like you didn't hear me. It's always sound like "excuse me." You're saying, "Wait, what did you say to me?"
Yeah, how dare you? Yeah,
and I was just like, I was just trying to place my order with you, sir. You're the waiter. I'm the customer. That's how it works.
Now, do you say "sir" to any? You just said "sir," which surprised me.
Because I'm telling a fake story.
Okay, but you would never use that in a real setting in any way.
No. I can't see how you really would use it.
But see, that was the thing. When I moved down here, going to college, that was like that world blew my fucking mind, and still to this day throws me off every time I hear it.
Everyone says "sir."
Not everyone, but like kids, especially. Like my kids at school will say "ma'am" and "sir" to people, and it like there's no way. I mean, they're just stuck with it at this point, and I still like cringe a little every time I hear it happen. It just seems so odd. But I fell into it eventually, like in certain situations where I would give in and just go with it. Like especially if it's like an older woman working somewhere, I'll give them a "ma'am" here and there, but I don't like it.
I think I've said "ma'am." I've never said "sir." I don't think
You've never.
I don't think I've ever said "sir" unless I was talking about Sir Mix-a-Lot.
What if you're trying to get someone's attention? Like, for whatever reason, you need to get someone's attention at a restaurant. Like the waiter. Let's say you're trying to get the waiter's attention. Do you say, waiter? Sound like you're like an asshole, or do you say "sir"?
I say "excuse me." Yeah.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
The same thing.
Excuse me. You want to throw down or give me water?
You worked your way back perfectly on that.
I just snap my fingers until he punches me.
That's why I carry a bell around with me to ring.
A bell. We got an email.
One of the things that I drives me crazy now is there's lots of things that drive me crazy, but I like anytime you IMO and IMHO in Facebook posts or in like comments on websites. You never need to write "in my opinion" or "my humble opinion" or any kind of acronym related to that. We know if you're saying it, it's your opinion. We don't think you're quoting Thomas Jefferson here. Why do people write IMO or IMHO or say it's "in my opinion" when it's like self-evident because they're fucking saying it?
IMHO took me. It was one of those IMHO and that TLDR are like the two first internet things where I felt real behind on like understanding what the fuck someone was talking about.
I don't even know which one are you talking about.
I used TLDR a few times.
What's TLDR?
I had to look TLDR. Like after getting into Reddit, I had to look it up to figure out what the fuck it meant.
Don't make me look it up. What is it?
Because people go into these like long epic rants, and then I'll just write TLDR just to piss them off. That's too long, didn't read.
Oh my God. People are such assholes.
Somebody will write like a 3,000 word response to me trolling them, and it'll just write TLDR.
At least though that serves a purpose because you're just trying to be a dick.
Yeah.
IMO is like, I know it's your opinion. What? You might be like, this is me saying I am writing now that it's. It's like saying, "Hey Jay, I'm breathing."
Right. Start every sentence with Mark says.
It's saying something that's so fucking obvious. I am using the English language as I write this.
Yeah, that is a dumb one.
Let's just let you know, as I'm talking, I'm alive, so I'm saying this.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of IMO.
I just don't understand the point.
I don't think I've ever used it.
Even people write it up, but like they want to get across it's just their opinion. What the fuck, Al? I didn't think you were stating something like quotes from the Bible. Okay, that's my rant. What's your email?
Stu writes, I think we need to police the use of the word epic. There's nothing epic about eating a fucking turkey sandwich or watching a TV show. Sick of hearing about everything being referred to as epic. Have you guys noticed this? I'm losing the will to live very quickly.
In fairness to him, have you guys heard the Louis C.K. bit about like the word amazing?
Mm-mm.
Very similar. It's like amazing and awesome, and how he just basically describes how they're using the situations that just make no sense. People are like, awesome pack of gum, and like awesome is like this crazy, amazing thing, and they're like, awesome candy bar. Same kind of thing as like epic, basically. I'm not doing justice to the bit or anything. I'm just saying like Louis C.K. does a really good bit about this, basically.
No, there's always those buzzwords that get like 2 years ago it was mind blowing. Everything was mind blowing.
It's like a fun expression to say, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, like that site, this blewmymind.com. Like you could just see what the buzzword of the week is on that site.
Because the first time someone said it, you were like, "Wow, that's a cool way of expressing yourself." Let me talk about now. Everything blowing my. Let me talk about this pizza blowing my mind.
He also writes, very difficult for me last week to listen to a couple of fully grown men repeatedly use that word, painfully awful word, selfie, especially since neither of you are 14-year-old girls. By the way, there are alternatives to using this word.
What would be the alternative using that word? Like not being gay? I don't know. I don't know why I said that one. But
I mean, we were
not being a 14-year-old girl. I was trying to start I was trying to whatever. What's the alternative of using the word 14?
I don't know. Is there another word for selfie? We were making fun of the word selfie. It's not like we were talking about. Okay, let's just move on.
Hang on. So, Rob, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think you would lose your job if you took a selfie with a dead guy in the toilet?
Yeah, for sure.
Could you just say like, "Hey, I just want to capture that moment"?
I'm gonna miss him. Right? No, I don't think that's good. No.
Listen, Rob. There's no company policy. You can't fire me.
Oh, no, Corey. Well, I live in a state where you can fire people for like no reason whatsoever. Like you don't have to have whatever the fancy word for that is, fireable grounds or anything. So yeah, they'd let me go. You don't want a creeper like that around.
I
also think you'd be fired if you did the toilet stool thing.
Sir, this part of we use the word sir. Sir, this part in the job application, it says, "Have I ever been fired?" I've once been fired. In fairness, I was just taking a picture of myself, what you call a selfie, with a dead guy in a toilet. I thought it was funny. Anyway, I'll be a model employee.
Do you think you'd ever get a job again if you had to put that on the application?
I'm pretty sure you don't explain that properly in the future.
I'm doing like your scenario. Let's say you had to put it on every application. Would you eventually hit somebody who's like, "Oh, that's fucking great," and then hire you?
I think it would come down to, yes, here at Wendy's, you're hired.
Yeah, they probably are.
We have no application process whatsoever. Did you? Well, sir, did you cause the dead guy? No. Can you get to work on time? You're hired.
Have you guys ever worked at one of those fast food places?
No.
I worked at a McAllister, so it was like that in between. You probably don't have them up there. It was like that in between world of like
a Fridays?
like a little lower than that.
Like
Like-
Fuddruckers.
Yeah, that's probably good. That's a good spot.
JJ used a chain that no one in our listening audience has ever heard of to explain what it was.
Which Fuddruckers?
Yeah, come on. Fuddruckers. Does anyone else know Fuddruckers? I know this also, but like
We had one. We had one down here when I moved to college.
So
I
you're
mean, if
There's
Alabama's
probably
got
one left in the U.S.
so you both knew what I was talking about, but you're still gonna give me shit about it.
I'm going to look up Fuddruckers and see how popular that chain is right now.
Let's see how
I
many
love
stores they
Fuddruckers.
have.
They got that homemade birch beer. It's great.
Mm-hmm. All
There's
right.
one in Jersey.
Did you do the whole fake name when you put your order in bullshit when you were a kid?
No, I never did that.
Oh, you know how they call your name out? Like that was the big thing. We used to go there and put like Salacious Crumb as our name and just see if they would read it over the speaker.
Jay,
we were charming fucking douchebag.
I have good news for you, Jay.
Mhm.
If you happen to be in Lebanon, Morocco, or Poland, or Saudi Arabia, you could find a Fuddruckers. I did
Oh, you
not
get
realize
that
they were
third
popular.
pounder out there. That's good.
Yeah, I did not realize how popular they were. Never mind.
See, there you go.
I am corrected. All our listening audience in Saudi Arabia knew exactly what you were talking about.
Let's see. Okay, our email is thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. That was our emails. Brinkofsanity3 is Twitter.
Can we discuss a real issue?
Sure.
I know it's not like a. Sometimes we discuss real things on here. I'm curious what you guys think about the whole Apple FBI debate. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Yes. So for people that don't know, basically, these terrorists in California, one of them had a phone, or their friend had a phone. It was one of them had a phone. They're dead. The FBI wants to unlock the phone and get the contents on the phone. Apple has said, "No, handsy offy. We're not going to help you with this."
Mhm.
What do you guys think? Who's right? Who's wrong?
I don't see why the FBI doesn't say, "Can you just open up this phone?" Not, "Can you write us code so that we could use it on other phones?"
Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying, "Can you open up this phone?" We're just asking for this one phone. And
No,
Apple
but they want
says,
them to write them a code and send them the code to unlock the phone. Which
well, Apple says they can't open it without running new code. The code, what they're asking for Apple to do is if you put a code in more than 10 times in your phone and they're incorrect, your phone erases.
Mhm.
And they're saying they want Apple to write a code assisting them in this, that the code will let them do as many entries as they want. So they'll basically keep entering until they get the right code.
Right, but I don't get why they don't just say, "Apple, we're going to mail you this phone, unlock it, and mail it back to us unlocked, and then we'll look at it."
Apple claims they can't do that. They claim they don't have the capabilities to do that. And once they create the code that'll do it, it'll get out there, and suddenly they're safe. Suddenly the phones won't be safe anymore, and everyone.
That's how I understood it. That like in a post code unlock world, the person getting the phone back could figure out the way they did it.
Or once it's been made, like somehow it'll get out there. Basically,
Right.
They can't protect the code.
Wasn't the terrorist already dead?
Yeah, no one's questioning whether the FDA, like, they have a valid search warrant to search the phone. No one's questioning whether the search warrant is valid.
Right.
It's that they're asking for Apple's assistance to getting into the phone is the issue.
Fuck them.
There's also no like realistic reason to believe that much information is going to be on that phone.
Yeah,
like
exactly. It's going to be.
they
pictures
did
of,
everything
like,
else fairly. They weren't complete morons in this situation. Like they probably had burner phones for something like that.
Yeah,
They're not just like iMessaging their buddy and saying
I'm
like,
sure they've seen The Wire. Here's a question: the Apple says once they create the code is going to be out there. Could Apple encrypt the code later?
or couldn't they just not?
So you can't get we have this amazing encryption technique, so we'll encrypt the code, so you can't get the code.
I feel like just because you make a code doesn't mean it has to leak everywhere.
I don't know. Apparently, they think it's like immediately everyone's going to be and the second they create it, everyone's going to be on everyone's phone, like stealing all their credit card information.
The
as opposed
phone's
to
just
having
going to be pictures of sushi and fucking selfies and stuff. It doesn't really matter.
I would bet to some degree that they're just using that as a bullshit answer for the bigger problem, which is once they say yes to it one time, they're fucked forever. That every
Yeah.
single time. Like I side with Apple on this and think that, I mean, when you look at all the post 9/11 shit that happened, it's pretty easy to think that once this happens one time, they're just going to get bullied into a world where it's like, yeah, you got pulled over for something in your car. Let's fucking bust into the phone. Like it just becomes like
the Daily Show already covered
commonplace.
that. They mentioned like there might be like 149 other phones they want this done for. So they're already like doing
Yeah.
Right. There are there's always going to be search warrants trying to get into these Apple phones. And I totally get that. And the opposite side of it is like, oh, if they can hack into one phone, they can hack into the hackers will get into all these phones and get your financial information, which they can do that to get my financial information. Or if I shop at Home Depot or Target or any giant store, they'll just steal my information that way because that's happening already.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? My information is not like safe.
I just think it's less about that. I think it's more about giving them the one precedent to say this is a thing that we're allowed to do, or at least can be giant pain in the ass. I mean, Apple's kind of branded itself on that privacy issue for such a long time.
Yeah, it's a marketing technique. I mean, what's the big deal?
It's not true. I agree with you. Like, you know, the fact that Apple probably has every fucking bit of information that's on that phone already is definitely like a more disturbing problem. But I don't blame them.
Yeah, I mean,
in marketing,
people say like, "Oh, well, you can't trust the government." I'm like, I don't trust a giant corporation either. They're all assholes. Why would you trust anyone involved in this?
They're also all assholes that make most of their money off of that information.
Right, and I get, yeah, they're like, your information is completely safe. It's safe when we're selling it. It's safe it's safe for the people that are buying it from us. And I also understand, like, I get it. They're asking for one-time use, and the government's probably going to use it again. But you know what? If you want to get into a drug dealer's phone, I'm fine with that also. I don't really have a huge value in the privacy of anyone when there's an actionable, like a valid search warrant.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that point of it, but I think it leads into bigger issues of like how many of those privacies can you give up before you're just like living in a world where you have literally zero, which we're already dangerously close to.
Right.
I feel like you're kind of near. If it was like, instead of it was like a digital thing, it was like just a safe. Like someone create a really good safe. And people were like, well, I want to get into it. And the guy's like, can't let you in there because once you get into that one safe, you'll get into all the other safes. People will be like, open the fucking safe. I feel like this is kind of weird thing because it's like internet, digital. People are like, oh, it's extra protection.
I don't know. I feel like it's not hard for the government to just say you're a suspect just to get into your phone.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's probably true also. I'm sure there's abuses. I just don't see like the strong argument. I get like the government's going to use this more than once. At the same time, they were terrorists. They are dead. If they find something that's helpful, that wouldn't be a bad thing.
Helpful for what? They're dead.
I don't know. Maybe they're connected to the people that aren't dead that are terrorists.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was my one. That was our moment of real discussion this week. Let's move off that.
Well, like, just all right. Can I say one more thing on that?
We're done. Goddamn. Yeah.
Oh, god damn it! I'll save it for next time.
No. What?
Like, granted, this is not the step that would come out of that first step of that, but let's just say little steps like that led to a world where your full emails, like literally all your emails, could be scanned. Every recursive email that you've ever written could be scanned. If you thought about it long enough, is there something in your email you think the government could see and you get in trouble for?
So,
because I would definitely say yes.
Along the same lines, I feel like Google has a record of all my internet searches.
They do.
And if they ever want to ever blackmail me, by all means, you could have everything but my kids, maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I already feel like a lot of this stuff's already out there. I'm like, I mean, what I really hate is people are like, get upset, like Facebook's not protecting their privacy, and you're like, you posted it on the internet, moron. There's no privacy when you're posting it for the general world to see.
But the difference is Google doesn't really have a reason to act on that. But like, if the thing in my email was that I happened to download a shit ton of, like, if there were like links people sent me from like torrent sites that I was clearly downloading from or something like that, they've got
Not
the
you,
RIAA and
this is
people like that.
hypothetical,
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a torrent is.
Yeah.
They would like that's a little frightening to think of like access on that level. And you just like if you don't keep protecting steps along the way to that, they'll be very happy with it getting there.
Yeah, no, that is a good point, and that's why I feel like they should create a better law for this. Like Congress, if they weren't like a complete waste of like existence, would get together and go, "Here's a way to like protect people's freedom, people's privacy, and balance everything." But they're not.
Yeah, that's never gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I get like it is a tough. I have a tough time. I'm really not sure where I come down on that because I can go back and forth on the Apple government things. I could see both sides, and I think both sides have pretty strong arguments.
I'm so wishy-washy about like all politics because of that same logic. Where like if you put me in a room long enough thinking about like one point of view on something, like I'll go like, yeah, I get most of that. Like I can see where you're going with it, but then I'll hear like the exact opposite point of that view and come out with the same opinion.
Yeah, no,
So you're easily swayed.
I'm easily swayed. I am.
If I send you guys something, can I send both of you through Skype? This
Yeah.
thing. You guys
Yeah.
both get that?
Yep.
Okay, so moving on. Not that this topic isn't important. If you guys were working in a building, say on like the 12th, 15th floor, would you feel better if you had a backpack you could wear that would enable you to rappel outside the building?
What?
What the fuck?
Do you guys see what a link I sent you?
I'm opening it.
No,
up.
I'm now watching you on video on Skype, which
You-
I'm not
you-
comfortable with at all.
Wait, what are you
No offense.
watching?
Yeah, I can see you right now.
You can see what you couldn't see
You got
me
a
before?
headset. There's a
Yeah,
there's a door behind
You
you.
couldn't see me before?
Oh, maybe I could have. I just never hit that button.
Oh, I don't care if you can. Yeah, dude, it's
Are you guys on video the whole time?
the
Yeah.
whole fucking time. It's weird. I know.
Oh, you guys
Jay-
are fucking crazy. I
Wait,
can't
no,
do that.
At some point, someone wrote in like, "I'd like to watch you on video," and I said, "Jay, this is a terrible idea." And Jay's like, "Fantastic! We'll get so many YouTube video clips." I don't know why we have to do this, but now there's like one person that watches us and jerks off while watching our faces, and Jay's like, it makes Jay happy.
It's weird.
Oh, I remember this because weren't your girlfriend's panties on the bed or something behind you one time?
Yes.
Oh,
that's
that definitely was not
great.
me. But my wife walks in every once in a while, and that's exciting.
Yeah, the program was like, what, $300? And I said, if we get that much in donations, we'll do it. And we got it. And now we have like 1 to 2 people that join the library.
Oh, yeah, that's what it came down to. It was that like someone asked for it, and Jay said, "I looked into it. It's $300. So if people give us that money, sure, we'll get it." Like kind of
Yeah, I don't blame you.
fantastic.
I mean, you're getting cool tech.
And then people actually gave the money. And were like, "Oh, fuck."
All right, so I'm watching this video.
So this video basically, if you're in, say, your building's on fire, you can now rappel. Like rappelling. You know what that is basically?
Yeah.
You wear like a rope, basically a harness, and you basically rappel off the building, out the building.
That's great if you don't have a crippling fear of heights.
Well, when you're going to burn to death? 9/11 is going to happen on your watch, Jay, and you have to get out the building.
I am in building number 7.
Oh.
Now, how many floors up are you?
14, well, I guess 13 because there's no 13th floor.
Now, I had to turn the video off because there was no way to mute it. But how many floors can you go on this thing?
Apparently, it's like 250 feet or something like that.
That doesn't sound like a lot of feet. That sounds like
Yeah, I don't know how many
3
floors that.
That sounds like 4 to 5 flights.
If the video wasn't so loud, the video's kind of funny because you see the people doing it, and you're just like, you can't imagine people are actually buying this.
That would be me. I would get this thing, not read that it's 250 feet, and I'd just be stuck on the outside of the
You're
9th
stuck
floor.
halfway.
Here's the thing: I saw this thing, and I thought, like, I've never seen a product better to sell on Infowars.
Yeah.
Rob, you know the website. Yeah. There's no product that's better. Like, because you got to think all these insane people that think like Obama's going to crash planes into every building they work in are going to use this, whether they work in a building or not. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, well I know I work in the first floor, but Obama's going to he's coming with us. He's going to crash an aircraft carrier into my post office." So
I just love Jason's idea of getting halfway down and realizing you're at the bottom of that fucking thing and just being like, God damn it.
You're just stuck on the
Just
outside.
Strapped.
and Jay can't get off it either. He can't unhook it, so he's like, "Oh, I'm just hanging here. God damn it! The ground is fine. I can actually jump down. I can't get the fuck out of his harness."
And the windows on those office buildings don't open, so you're just stuck out there.
Oh yeah, the windows. I guess you have to kick out the window.
Yeah, I don't think you could probably kick the windows
You
out.
couldn't, right?
No.
You must be able to. How did the people like in 9/11 have people jump to their death if they couldn't get the windows open?
Because they were broken already.
They were shattered,
Yeah.
yeah, from a plane.
Okay, so this is for the plane shot. Like did you ever worry at work that a aircraft, a giant 747 will break windows near you? You ever wonder what you do? Now wear a backpack to work.
I just don't take it off the whole time I'm at work. Like, well, you never know.
See, that would be a good move. I like that.
We're always like, I'm ready in case.
Jay, are you going to school? No, this is my panic pack.
But, for that guy, that's like the ultimate fuck you moment when it really happens and you're still walking around with that thing on and you're just like, fuck all of y'all. I called this. And you're out the window.
This is the
It's a
moment
good
I've
exit.
been living my entire life for.
Until you get halfway down and you run out of rope.
This site is actually awesome because they have pocket-sized grappling hooks, an ultimate survival kit that has like 400 little gadgets in it.
Would you have any faith? Okay, I know they work on TV, but like if you owned a grappling hook and threw it, would you have any faith in climbing anything with that piece of machinery?
Absolutely not.
I don't get it. Like, what is it really catching on to?
I have no idea. In the movies, there always seems to be a conveniently placed exhaust pipe that it somehow wraps around. But
Right, and then catches the other side of the rope conveniently.
yeah.
Like, that would never fucking happen.
never. You'd be there for like
There's like an
4.5
exhaust pipe.
hours.
You're like, oh, this exhaust pipe. All exhaust pipes in buildings are trained to hold 1,000 pounds.
You would start throwing that thing at midnight to do a heist, and it would be light out before you got that thing back. Before you got that thing hooked up.
That even bugs me in the first Star Wars when he does the swing across in the Death Star. It's like,
Yeah.
that would take me no less than 500 times to accomplish what he did there.
Yeah.
And then he's doing it on like dental floss. I mean, the rope doesn't look like a rope that a human hand could even hold on to.
Space rope.
That's true. Yeah, it's probably got like some sticky grip.
No, that thing definitely would have shredded his hands. Probably sliced his hands in two.
So not a good segue, but so I only witnessed part of this interaction, and I'm not sure what was said at the other end. But so I was walking to work. A woman was walking in front of me. There was a homeless person. She came up to the homeless person and handed them a granola bar. The woman said something, and the granola bar was never given to the homeless woman. And I'm wondering what the homeless person's like. She had a sign saying, "I'm hungry, food. I'm hungry, or I need money." And the person gave them food, and the homeless person didn't accept the food.
I had that happen to me.
What did the homeless person say?
I was going to 7-Eleven at night, and there was a homeless person in front of it asking for money. So I went in there and I bought like this huge bag of Doritos, and I came out and I gave it to the bum, and he's like, "I don't want that." I'm like,
What?
I'm like, "What do you mean you don't want that? You're a bum." And he's like, "I don't want that." I'm like, "Well, I don't even like fucking Doritos. And I just bought you like a 4-pound bag of Doritos. Eat the goddamn Doritos." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm drunk." So I'm like yelling at this guy. I'm like, "Eat the goddamn Doritos."
What's this argument against it? I'm not actually that hungry.
I think,
Or
I
not-
think he just wanted money for, like a 40 or something.
Right.
And, I actually got him food. So he was like, giving me sass.
There better be some heroin in that.
I was so
I
pissed.
I do like that you chose Doritos. That's such an odd choice for that situation.
Yeah, the fact that you didn't like Doritos, it's not like you came out there with a bag and you had a bag of Doritos and you're like, well, I don't really need this Doritos. This homeless guy needs the Doritos more than me. It was like you went in the store, you were like, what's the best thing I could buy for this homeless guy?
I figured Doritos are.
Cool Ranch or spicy?
I thought Doritos were a popular snack and most people liked them.
I don't. Why
I would just think like substantive, like a hot dog.
Yeah,
or
I would buy him like some kind of
jerky.
meal-oriented food.
What if he's got a beef allergy or something? What if he wants to save some for later? I figured with Doritos he could eat
That's
a
not
couple
bad.
handfuls.
Yeah.
It's a
You
lot
buy-
of food. Yeah.
Did you get him a chip clip?
I did not. No. I don't think 7-Eleven's big on the chip clip.
He's gonna have rats in there. It's no good. He's not taking that on the road.
Excuse me, sir. And in your humble opinion, what do you think is best item in this store to give the homeless man out there?
I mean, he's a bum. He's got a lot of time to look for like a rubber band or something.
Probably true.
Yeah,
So what do you
Yeah.
do? Take home?
I had to.
I mean, I feel like I think homeless people not to like say they shouldn't have choices in life in general, but if he's truly homeless and he turns on that one food option, I'm under no obligation to ever give him food or money again.
Right.
Him or all bums?
I'm gonna take it out on the entire bum population.
No, see, that would be my reaction to this. Like, I'm fucking done with this. This is
Did
it.
you fucking know, dude? I gave your homeless brethren down on 44th Street a Dorito bag. What, you don't know him? All you fucking homeless people know each other. God damn it.
It's like the large $5 size too. That son of a bitch.
You didn't get him like just like the snack, like the one serving.
No, it was
kind.
like the family size, super size thing.
Maybe he's crying because his family's all dead.
Yeah, well,
Families, are you trying to rub it in? I don't have a family, asshole.
My mom died on a toilet when a stripper was at the house.
My dad died filming a Dorito commercial.
My parents were in a skyscraper and didn't have a rappelling backpack. God damn it.
there's only
What
one
if
had
you
5
came out- what
flights
if
and
you
they had to cut the cord.
What if you came out and you were like, I'm sorry, I mean, I don't have any money on me, but do you want this repelling backpack? I don't know, sir. You may be in a situation you'll be up in a high building one day when life's going a little better for you. You'll have to get out because the terrorists are going to be on you. You have to think about these things, sir. Take the repelling backpack. You could at least sell it to someone.
You could find some InfoWars doomsday preppers and sell it to them.
Sir, I know you're homeless and asking for money. What is your view on Apple unlocking their iPhone?
Sir, I know you're starving, but how about a grappling hook?
Yeah, I was just wondering what the homeless person said to the woman with the granola. But
It was probably the same shit. She probably said, I don't want goddamn
Not a
granola
fan.
bar.
I
Yeah.
was going to ask her because she was walking and still a little bit ahead of me. I could have easily asked her, and I was curious to ask her, but I'm not bold enough to talk to a stranger on the street.
No, I wouldn't do that either.
Yeah, because what if like I asked her and she was like, "He's allergic to granola. They're allowed to be allergic to granola. What are they, not humans?"
Maybe she had a nut allergy.
Yeah, exactly.
If that was me, I would have been like, "What do you mean you don't want a granola bar? You're a fucking bum. Eat the goddamn granola bar."
Jay's like beating the guy with the homeless guy. Here's your granola bar. You can fucking eat this. I'm just shoving it down his throat.
You want to run through some questions before we go?
Sure. I think Steven asked 300.
He asked about 300 or 400. Can
Yeah.
Mark please stop shitting on my video game questions?
Also, just this is another random thing.
Every time we get to the questions, Mark's like, "How about a 30-minute segue?"
this is not a long segue at all. I was recently in Florida coming back, I was coming back. You know, when you're going through security, the guy in security looks at my license, and I had my New York City address on it. Like kind of thankfully, he like memorizes the New York. Like he like looks at it, repeats it to himself, and he's like, "Where in the city is that? Oh, is that 62nd? Oh, between there. Oh, really? I know that area." And like repeats it again, and then like gives it back to me. It looked like, oh, he's gonna come over and visit me.
He's probably like,
I moved and I haven't changed my address on there. But if I had changed my address on there, I might be a little worried.
yeah, he's probably texting his friend as soon as you leave. He's not home right now.
It's just something weird about like he's like looking at everyone's addresses and like just saying it kind of out loud, like, I know where that is. Okay, you could have. I'm sure you could figure it out with Google Maps, but thanks for telling me you know where I live.
New York, I know where that is.
Do you guys get a lot of? All right, as someone who only like barely marginally knows the city from growing up outside of it, do you guys get like a ton of? I would imagine the most annoying thing you could get from other people there is the whole like, oh, where in the city do you live? You describing where that is, and then the run of questions of like, here's the 6 places I've been. Is it near that?
I actually don't get that too much.
Yeah, I don't either. I feel like in the city, if you're living if you live above like the village area, everything's numbers wise, so people kind of like
Configure it. Okay.
It's 63rd and 2nd. is that near it's near Second Avenue because I fucking said Second Avenue. That's the exact location.
See, I feel like for like most non-New York City people, that would like devolve into like, well, I've been to Central Park. Is it near Central Park? And
Yeah,
just like that run of questioning.
If you're downtown, the streets all have different names. That's a little more. It's actually much more confusing. But
You get that more if you're like, I'm in Queens, so
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, the borough. Yeah.
So that's more like, have you been to this place? But yeah, it's not like 61st Street. Is that near 60th Street?
yeah, it actually is. It's actually pretty close. Actually.
Yeah. Well, New York's weird though because a neighborhood is like 3 blocks.
Right.
Like I've gotten into some stupid conversations like, is that near Chelsea? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, no, you said 24th Street. Chelsea ends at like 23rd Street. 24th Street is blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't give a shit. Like, like some people get offended if you call their neighborhood like something it's not.
Yeah. See, I was so ignorant of that. I mean, we took the path in. I mean, I've probably been in the city like 100 times, which seems like a decent number to figure something out.
Yeah.
But in no point at no point ever did I go into Chelsea. So we were usually down like around NYU, like that area.
Mm-hmm.
I had no conceptual idea at all of where Chelsea was, and that's not that far from there.
Right. Yeah.
It sounds like by giving everything different names, it sounds like that everything's far away from each other, and everything everything's pretty close together. But the areas do feel like different a lot.
Yeah.
Some do, some don't. Like, isn't the Flatiron District like just 3 blocks?
That's what I was thinking. I was trying to think of Flatiron. That's an area I'm like, this is like, I guess. Like, I'm not even sure exactly where it starts and ends.
I'm not either because it looks exactly the same as the block below and above it.
It's like just above Union Square, but before Chelsea and the.
It's silly. It really is silly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Get back to Steven's 300 questions.
Yeah, we're quickly running out of time here. Steven writes, who is the one bitch you want to hate fuck?
Would Steven be offended if I talked about his mom here? Sorry, I'm just kidding. One bitch I want to hate fuck? I do.
That's a dark question.
Yeah.
Steven's a dark person. I don't mean that like literally.
Miley Cyrus?
Would
you
really
hate her that much?
Like, yeah. Yeah, you can just say Drake here. I know it's not a woman.
I mean, I can't think of somebody I like really hate that much.
Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Steven. Steven, maybe you should have given us some like choices.
Why do I have to keep hearing about shitty Deadpool? I hate superheroes. This garbage genre needs to die.
Apparently Deadpool made a lot of money, didn't it?
It did.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure. I'd never heard of the until I started doing the podcast with Jay. I'd never even heard of Deadpool. So I don't know, Jay. Are you responsible for starting the trend?
No, I'm not a Deadpool fan.
Oh, you're not a Deadpool fan?
I am not a Deadpool fan.
I always thought you were a big Deadpool fan.
No.
Well,
have you seen it though? The movie?
I have not.
Is it good?
I'm going tomorrow to see it.
Okay, well that's not helpful at all.
And you're not
Nope.
a Deadpool fan either.
Not really.
What are you like? Why are you not a fan? Like, what's wrong with Deadpool versus like?
He's all right. I'm not like gonna hate fuck him or anything, but he I don't know. It's just so.
He's like a action hero who like tells jokes.
Yeah.
And when he's written well, it is like generally pretty funny. It just gets old really fast.
Yeah, when he's not written well, it's just annoying.
Oh, it's terrible. It's one of the worst things in the world when it's written poorly.
Yeah.
When you say it's written poorly, like in the comics, that they.
Yeah.
Well, it's gotta be hard to like keep having funny lines in a comic.
That's a big part of the problem, and it's like at a rapid pace. So in a movie form, I have a fairly good feeling that this movie might legitimately be a fun movie to watch, but that doesn't translate over like years and years of comics.
Right.
Why are you reading so many Deadpool comics?
I'm not. I mean, I have an X-Men podcast, so I have no choice but to read it sometimes.
Is Deadpool part of the X-Men?
He came out of that world. Yeah, that's where he started.
Oh,
he's not like
everyone's got to start somewhere. Some people start in the mail room. Some people start in the X-Men. That's just how it works.
He's not like part of the X-Men, but he'll like show up. He's like, "Hi guys, I'm here. I'm gonna crack some corny jokes and hang out with you for an issue or two." And
yeah,
So
He lives in that world
he's
more
like
than anything
Kramer?
else.
He's like the funny neighbor.
Yeah, he's like Cody
Kind of,
from
yeah.
Step by Step.
I can't. No. I understand. Like I think I never connected Deadpool the X-Men to, but I never connected Deadpool to being a comic either. So
That's why the who is it? Fox that owns the X-Men? Is
Yeah.
that right? That's why it's a Fox movie instead of part of the whole Marvel like good movie scene.
okay, I didn't know it was a Fox movie.
Like he had a run of comics written by Brian Posehn from Mr. Show, which I heard those are really funny. But then, yeah, the one I read like last week, I was like, oh god.
So Deadpool's a mutant.
I think so.
I don't know. The one I was reading, he said he wasn't. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
Does the movie not the? I guess you haven't seen it yet, but does it like go through his origin story?
Yes. Yeah.
And will if they release subsequent Deadpool movies, would each subsequent Deadpool movie go through his origin story again?
That
Like
tends to happen to
It's a
some
Spider-Man
degree.
model.
Yeah.
What if you do an X-Men comic book? Like X-Men have movies where they don't go through the origin story always. Why is every goddamn Batman Spider movie go through the origin story?
I don't know. I'm kind of bummed. I'm not very excited about any of that Batman stuff because of that same reason.
Are you excited for Batman versus Superman?
No, not at all.
Why not?
Should I be?
Well, there's a scene apparently I've heard from a good source where Batman hate fucks Superman.
See, I would watch that movie. That's got something going on.
It's a little graphic of a scene, but like if you're like me and have always wanted to see this hate fucking of superheroes, and it's pretty good.
Is this over his parents' corpses when they were killed, and he decided to become Batman?
Now you take it to a dark place. I'm just talking about.
I'm just
regular
circling back to the
first anal
bathroom.
sex, and you're just like take it to a dark place. Yeah, I assume the fighting's. I assume it's gonna be like they're gonna fight once and it's barely gonna fight, and by the end of it they're gonna be locking lips, like making up.
Yeah, it's the way all those. Whenever you have two superheroes fight, it's always like a misunderstanding and like.
When Jason and Freddy fought, which I thought I enjoyed Jason and Freddy fighting. You guys see that back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was a dream. I've been waiting for that for so long. When it came out, I saw it like twice in the theaters. And at the end of the movie, Jason is holding Freddy's decapitated head. If at the end of Batman, Superman, Batman is holding Superman's decapitated head, or vice versa, I will be so satisfied.
Yeah, that would be a worthwhile ending.
It'd be a shocker. Yeah.
That'd be like someone in the writing room suggested that, and he was kicked, like thrown out the window. Thank God he gets grappling that day. He's like, "Don't worry, you can throw me out the window. I have my backpack."
Steven
Like,
writes,
do you realize 12-year-old boys are going to see this? I know. That's why I'm writing it this way.
director's cut. Steven writes, I just found out there's cockroaches in my city the other day. Very rare, but we have an apartment building that's infested with them. I'm disappointed. How hard are they to kill? 1 stomp, 2 stomps? I remember stories about them being able to survive a nuke.
I have a related question. Rob, since you do an X-Men podcast, have you seen that movie? Jay, you know the name of the movie where they sew this like scientist, like crazy scientist,
Human Centipede.
Yeah.
Centipede. What do you think about a Centipede X-Men movie?
Like all three of them in that shape are the character?
Like Wolverine shitting into whatever X-Men
No, that
mouth.
no.
You don't think you wouldn't be a fan of seeing like the X-Men? Like some mad scientist captures the X-Men and like turns them into a human centipede.
No, I mean honestly, that wouldn't be worse than other X-Men movies that are out there, but I'm not necessarily rooting for that to happen. That trailer, did you actually watch that movie?
I watched all 3.
There's a third?
Oh yeah, the third he's a jail warden and he does it to the entire population of the.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that shit freaked me out. That is fucking disturbing.
Rob, have you watched any of them?
No, I watched the trailer to the first one. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I watched the trailer and that disturbed me alone.
Me too.
And I read the description on one of our previous episodes of the second movie, which was disturbing enough. I can't believe Jay's seen all 3 of these movies.
Like how do you get to a multiple? Yeah.
The third one was actually, it was the worst thing.
What's the scenario where you
What
watch?
was
Are
the
you watching
best-
this alone?
Date
I
night.
think I watched two
Can't
and
be with your girlfriend.
I watched 2 and 3 alone because after the first one, nobody would watch the sequels with me.
What drove you back to like number 2?
Well, I just heard they took it up a notch, and I'm like, all right, I got to see where they go from here.
Because I love, like, I was upset. I am very much with Mark on this. With like Freddy versus Jason, I'm very excited about. I love like every fucking horror movie out of the '80s in every genre. So like, it's not like I'm opposed to like dumb gore, but that one for some reason just fucking struck me as really messed up.
It's pretty
It
messed
is.
up. But I just got to ask you. So, if you're gonna make a human centipede out of X-Men, who do you put in what order?
Hmm.
You definitely have Deadpool somewhere in the middle, so he's not talking the whole time.
I think it's unfair to Deadpool if he's like a character that shows up every once in a while and makes just like cameos, and you're like, shit, now people gonna shit in my mouth. I don't want to make a cameo in this movie.
See, I think Deadpool will be funnier in the front because then
Ooh, I'm
then
gonna
you
eat
at
the
least have
chili.
some, you have some humor in the movie, but you get like a Cyclops. Or I was going to shut Cyclops up with the same logic and put him near the back.
Okay, so who's in the middle? Who's getting shit in the middle?
And you could put like the Blob there just for the humor's sake of just how much is passing through that guy.
That would be pretty funny.
Are you gonna suggest this on your X-Men podcast?
No. No, I don't want to even talk. I don't even like talking about that movie at all.
Jay, Steven, I hope that answers your questions about cockroaches.
Following on the last episode way back, you said you didn't want Kim Kardashian as next president. Which porn star would you prefer as president?
Oh, so if after President Trump, the next one has to be a porn star because we're going in that direction?
Might as well.
It really does open the door.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got the gangbang queen as our president, but hey, I mean, like Trump, and then maybe she has good policy. Maybe she will bring peace faster. And okay, Israel, Palestine, you can both fuck me in the ass. Yeah. So, what porn star would you like to be president, Jay? Rob?
Mm,
Trying to think of like what merits do you use off of that? Are you looking for who seems the smartest?
Do you want one that does like MILF porn or like a certain area in particular that they're really
Right.
good at to show like they have like a high degree of skill in something?
So that they get the women's vote?
Yeah.
Right.
They're just a regular house mom like the rest of us.
I'm just a regular house mom that takes dicks in my vagina because my vagina is that big.
Just like you.
Just like you. When I'm making the kids lunches and going from between soccer practice and making sure the house is clean, and then I get railroaded by the 5 dudes my husband brings home that night. Just like you, vote for Holly, bitch tits. I don't know. That's a terrible name.
you don't even know one.
Oh no, I can name them. I'm just like I was making up a bad name.
It's almost like, see, this is one of those trap questions that you get on podcasts where if you answer right away, you're raising too many new questions.
Right.
You know, like if I threw somebody out there right away, you know too much about me now.
Well, I think just to going back to this point about Kim Kardashian, I feel like she'd be more likely after Trump. If you're going to say like, I don't think an actual porn star is going to win, but I could see them going like, well, Kim Kardashian, she's famous. I like watching her also.
And she came off of a reality show just like him and a rich family. I mean, it's almost apples to apples right there.
Yeah, she knows how to generate money by not doing anything. We need more of that.
All right. If you didn't live in New York City, what city would you live in?
I'd love to live in San Diego. If I'm going to stay in the U.S., San Diego would be awesome.
That's a pretty good one. You get perfect weather all year.
That's pretty much my exact reason, yes. Rob,
Yeah, I don't think I'm qualified to answer this question.
just pick another city you're going to live in.
I know San Diego would be high on my list as well, actually. But I don't want to copy your answer. San Francisco, I'm not going there anymore.
Oh, why not?
I don't know. That seems like a real living there now seems you pretty much have to be like a millionaire, don't you?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess I wasn't thinking about like cost of living, but because San Francisco's a pretty cool city, also. Just it's really goddamn expensive now. Did you guys see that? There was that girl who worked for Twitter, and she no, not Twitter. It was Yelp. She worked for Yelp.
Yeah, I saw this.
And
Yeah.
she wrote this open letter to the CEO of Yelp about how like it's just too expensive and like you're not paying me very much and like I can't like I'm starving all the time. You should pay my rent and like. And then she got fired right afterwards.
Yeah. She
It's
probably
kind of-
makes more than I do, so I don't know how.
She actually had like full health care. Like, it was like she was bitching, but she had full health care. Yeah. And she didn't have like she was like the thing was she was paying like $1,200 a month for rent, and everyone was like, "Why don't you get a fucking roommate, bitch?"
Right. I can't
Like
have
what everyone
that.
else does.
I don't want your fucking Doritos. Shut up with your ideas.
She's like, "This is the CEO of Yelp. I'm going to send you a bag of Doritos." Well, that's not fair.
Here's a granola bar.
Well, I was actually hoping for a raise or no Doritos. I'll send you Doritos.
It's the family size bag. We should probably start wrapping this up, right?
Go faster through the questions, Jack.
There's like 40 more.
Just go through the questions.
We're gonna have to do...
I won't go into a side story every time.
I'm not like asking this to extend the time period or anything, but what is your time constraint situation?
I have to go very soon.
I think
We're-
you have to sleep for work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have like my super long day tomorrow, so I need.
Oh no, I understand it. I mean, I'm all for going to bed early. I just didn't know if you had like you guys have like a lot of technical stuff going on with like a live chat and stuff. I didn't know if there was like a parameter there.
Oh, I do none of the technical stuff, so I have no idea. Jay does all of that. So as far as I know, between the end of the show and it going online, it's just magic. It just happens.
Yeah, that's
All
why Mark's always like, "Yeah, we could run long." I'm sure Jay doesn't have to do anything else with the show after we finish recording.
Exactly.
Hey, let me ask you this, because you guys have been doing this a while.
Yeah.
Jay, do you have? It probably only comes up in like little brief moments here and there.
Mhm.
But are there moments where that fact drives you fucking bonkers? I say as the person who does like all of that shit on ours too.
What, having to do all that other stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as hardcore as you, like cutting out ums and going through the whole. I don't want to hear the whole episode again.
Right. But you do like the post. Do you do like the post to the website and all that stuff too?
Yes.
It's a fucking grind, right?
It's annoying. I wake up every time we do a show. I wake up a half hour earlier for work and do all this stuff in the morning before work.
Yeah.
So
I definitely have some like bitter moments about my co-host during those moments where if something comes up that we need to do that he doesn't volunteer to do, where I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay. You know what? To be fair, I will volunteer to come over your place in the morning and do this for you. Who's banging on the door at 7 a.m.? Jay, I want to help you with the podcast. Go fuck yourself.
I brought Doritos.
Just do rapid fire. We'll finish the questions. We'll finish real fast. Rapid fire through Steven's question.
Okay. Why do the X-Men suck so bad?
I don't know, Steven.
On a
Next.
scale of 10 out of 10, how gay is Mark's son for liking Deadpool?
Thank you for calling my son the guy. Steven also makes all these references to my son. I do have a daughter too, Steven. You can call my daughter gay if you want to.
Take some shots at her as well.
See, aren't you glad we're staying long to do these questions?
He's a super fan. Finish.
Did Mark ever deal with the nanny situation?
Yes, new nanny is actually really good, so it all worked out.
Am I the longest lasting super fan yet?
Steven, you are number one in our book. Jay?
Yeah, just about. I think you got about one more month and you break the record.
Rob, you have any super fans?
It probably, yeah. There's probably a few that fit that category.
Are you upset that once in a while I troll one of your super fans?
No, that's fun. We do too.
'Cause
That's the fun of having super
Because
fans.
he
What do you-
annoys the
what do you do,
living
Jay?
crap out. He annoys the crap out of me.
You go on to like a
Rob's Facebook page.
and you
Yeah.
troll one. You like just rip on one of the guys.
He definitely antagonizes one of them.
That's funny.
I hate the guy. I don't hate him. He's just like, he won an argument, but then he rubs it in literally every single day, and it's been like a year now.
This is why we no longer have a forum. Because,
Yeah.
like, it's too fucking much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
So I just post pictures of a guy beating a dead horse. I literally did that the other day.
That's funny.
Let's see, what else do we got?
By the way, Steven was sending me messages at work about something or other, and so I responded once, and I respond again, and I'm like, Steven, I gotta get back to work. And he goes, "You mean you have to get back to emailing Jay?" I'm like, "No, but I am writing an email to Jay."
Has Rob played The Evil Within?
No, I have not. It looks good though. I like games like that.
I'm playing it right now. It's good.
Do you have to play a role?
No. It's like a horror movie. You're just playing through a horror movie.
Do you like it? You like it?
Yeah, I like it. It scares the shit out of me. Like, I have to play in small doses.
I'm not good with scary games because I play at night when everybody's asleep, and then I get myself all freaked out.
What I did is I'd play that a little bit, and then I'd put on South Park Stick of Truth to calm down.
Jay, you mentioned that to me that you have a game that you like. It's actually like a horror movie. That actually does. I don't play games. That sounds like a kind of a cool game.
It is. There's thousands of ways to die too. It's kind of like if we wrote a horror movie. Let's see. I'm gonna skip all the questions, ripping on one of our other listeners.
Yeah, nothing. If you can't actually rip on other listeners,
right? That's yeah. I'm just not gonna read those.
That's no good for numbers.
You can go to our Facebook page to read those. We're not going to delete them because that would take editing.
List your 10 favorite fast food chains.
Oh my god.
You want to do a top one?
That requires a lot of thought. Yeah.
Wendy's.
Taco Bell.
Yeah. Are we going shitty base level?
If you had a choice of one fast food place, what would you choose?
You're driving on a road trip. You're pulling over.
Yeah, I'd probably go Taco Bell also.
There we go. How often do you go to Staten Island, and what's it like?
I have never been to Staten Island.
That's a great question.
Jay, have you been to Staten Island?
I have. I've been there twice, and I've driven through it 3 times.
I'm going to say 80% of people that live in New York City but not in Staten Island have never been to Staten Island.
There's no reason.
It does seem like a mysterious place.
I went there to play paintball.
I thought you were going to say mistake, but that's not it, because that would have been a correct term also.
Okay. We're going to end the show. Because I am tired of shit. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Thank you, Steven.
Quite all right.
Thank you. If we missed any questions, I'll get to them next episode. And thank you, Rob, for joining us.
No problem. It's always fun. I love it.
Yeah, this is a good time.
You guys get into some dark shit that we do not get into, and I like it.
I did not see our F show going into talking about a dead guy shitting between a dead guy's legs, but hey, that's
great.
That's where you go with the show. Jay will be animating this episode.
Good luck finding. I was gonna say, good luck finding the album art for this episode.
Yeah, seriously. All right, thanks everybody. We'll be back next week. You could find Rob's show, The Uncanny X-Cast.
And then Rob, if you do want to spend your next episode of your X-Cast talking about Human Centipede with the X-Men, you don't have to credit me. You can say it's your own idea.
I don't know. I don't want to steal your credit for this remarkable idea.
Rob, which Twitter are you posting?
At Hank Scorpio CEO.
There you go. Hank Scorpio CEO on Twitter.
I like that.
Listen to the Uncanny X-Cast. It's a really good show.
Thank you.
The first 45 minutes are basically like this, and then they actually get into X-Men talk.
Sometimes
it's X-Men talk. And yeah, we'll be back next week. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. Say that go away. I'm gonna